Hello, my name is Fox Knight. So again, I'm Fox. This is going to be the spoiler review. Before I do that, I'm going to watch the trailer because that way I have clips to kind of go to and help me with my review. So let's begin in 3, 2. This is the final trailer we're going to look at. I haven't seen any of the trailers. I've only seen the movie.
Where's Optimus Prime?
The filthy red and blue bot gives off a corroded metallic stench.
Also, you hit Optimus Prime. That's wrong.
Okay, corroded, that is too far.
Okay.
The best Transformers movie ever. That's not honestly that's not wrong, honestly. At least to me, that's not wrong.
You have the power to make your world better. But this fight is mine.
I love his transformation.
He's a little intense.
Yeah, just a little.
Bold and original.
Now is the time to stand together.
An unforgettable heart story.
No,
Felt
it's
story.
time to fight back.
Please don't do this.
You need to move out of my way before I move you myself.
4 stars. Breathtaking action. Electrifying.
All that counts
Hell
is
yeah.
the strength of one bot over another.
He's too strong.
Must on the biggest screen possible. It's a non-stop laughs.
Until next time, legends.
The original origin story we were waiting for. Is that what it said? Transformers 1. Okay, so this movie, holy shit. Okay, so I kind of brought up a little bit so that one, if you're someone who like knows Transformers lore and all this other shit, it's probably gonna make you mad. Mind you, there's different lore for each different like story, technically speaking. Like, is this the original story for like the '84 cartoon? No, 100% it's not, because they've already shown that one. Orion Pax gets killed and then rebuilt, which is similar to kind of happen in this. I guess they kind of still do play with that idea, but then Alita 1 also dies in that, but she doesn't die in this one. And, okay. And also, like, if you look at Armada, there's stuff like mini-cons that are brought into the mix, and they're the reason why Cybertron gets taken down. And, you know, I don't think that's the case for the movies, and I think this is supposed to be in continuity with the live-action movies. I could be wrong, but I believe that's kind of what they're going for. And honestly, I honestly kind of hope so. This is a pretty decent origin story. But, this movie is pretty sick. Mind you, I do hope that they're going to bring up some other things, like maybe Alpha Trion's, like, earth or magnetism ability where he can summon, like, this sand and shit. Maybe, like, that's a 1%er kind of thing. Like, 1%er spark. Like, hopefully Alita gets her time-stopping powers. Stuff like that. But this movie, holy shit. Because I kind of brought it up in my last review. If you hadn't seen that, quick summary. The first, like, part of this movie, I 100% would say, goes by really fast. Actually, let me put this light on. There we go. And that's not... There you go. Too bright. Better. It goes by really, really fast. Like, to the point where, like, you can't really breathe or take certain things in a little bit. Like, the beginning really does feel like... Because it goes from, oh yeah, Optimus Prime, or Orion Pax, not even Optimus. Orion Pax breaks into the archives. So I guess that's kind of tying into Alpha Trion as well as oh man, I kind of got the edges messed up a little. Like kind of tying in with Alpha Trion and and like Orion being like data clerks, but like Optimus is going through the data clerk things to learn how to find the Allspark, or not the Allspark. I'm sorry, the Matrix of Leadership, which is kind of basically what the Allspark is. And this, mind you, the Matrix of Leadership was the first like Transformers relic, and then everything else kind of spun off of it. And Allspark was actually something from the Bayverse, which was surprising. I thought that was something from the actual thing. In any case, Optimus. Orion, Elita 1, and D, I think 125. I'm just gonna call them D. They're all miners, not that kind of miner. A miner that actually mines shit. And they're mining Energon because apparently the Matrix of Leadership during the Quintessence War, it disappeared. It went missing after the Primes died and went missing. Which also, they say this all happened 50 cycles ago, which I'm kind of wondering, like, how, like, is a cycle a year, or, like, how many years? Because I know, like, their time is slightly different, but, I don't know. But, like, I was like, so is it, like, that this happened 50 years ago? I'm not entirely sure on that one. But, so the Matrix Leadership has gone missing. Sentinel Prime is out there trying to find it with his men, supposedly. And these non-transforming bots that are miners that mine out down in the mines, which are filled up with characters such as... And again, this is where it... if you're a Transformers fan, like, I'm sure, like, there's characters in there that I didn't even know. But, like, even the first one I noticed was that RC is in there. RC, the usual pink Transformer that you see it sometimes now, like, is a mainstay with Optimus's group. She's in there at one point. Jazz is there, as well as a few others where they're non-transforming Transformers, because apparently, for whatever, we don't know why at first, but for some reason, these bots don't have a T-Cog to transform.
The filthy
Which,
red and blue bot?
I want to say like this first, wise. I really love how they kind of set up, because obviously, yeah, this is a new continuity. This is a new origin story for, Optimus, for Megatron, and all these guys, while mixing in some things from other continuities. Stuff like the 13 Primes. That's in this, from the Align continuity. We have stuff like, I'm trying to think. I know there's like other ones, I just can't remember all of it. Align continuity. Oh, Megatron being a miner. Someone who mines Energon and all that stuff, while there's like a high society above them. But, if I'm remembering correctly, I think that's still the Align continuity also. My nose is starting to stuff up now for some damn reason. The Align continuity, I think it was Decepticons were the mining people, and then the upper class who were like kind of ruled over them, so that were like the Autobots. Right now, in this time, Autobots and Decepticons aren't a thing. Even like the Decepticon symbol, even that's kind of different too, a little bit. Like Megatronus is brought up in this, which is where Megatron eventually gets his name Megatron from. But they give him the face of Tarn, who, if you don't know who Tarn is, actually, they give him like the Tarn Decepticon mask face, which, mind you, Tarn does look badass. And honestly, yeah, if you told me like, oh yeah, that's Megatronus, I'd probably believe you. It looks pretty sick. But yeah, like, Megatron's like a big fanboy of that, because Megatronus was one of the Prime, and it apparently wasn't the corrupt one or a fallen one in a sense. He's literally just the biggest and strongest of the Primes at that time. So you have that. Again, Optimus, at least searching through the clerk data and stuff like that. I guess it's supposed to be kind of a reference to him being a data clerk in like the other continuities. But also on that same note, the whole thing is that, okay, major spoiler, go watch this movie. It's so damn good. Go watch it. There is a, towards the end of it, there is a scene where where Optimus, spoilers, but also, he also does this in every continuity, dies, and he is, in a sense, brought back by Alpha Trion, which is very similar to what happens in the G1 continuity, where he is killed, but then he is rebuilt as Optimus Prime. But mind you, that's way near the end. And it goes with a lot of cool things, but pretty much, Sentinel Prime says he's out there looking for the Matrix of Leadership, because the Matrix of Leadership is what allows Energon to freely flow from the planet and go all across the Earth, and until that can be found, they need to mine it specifically, which also is kind of cool because they use these sticks to like de-transform the Earth to get through it, and if these sticks destabilize, you see it kind of just crunch in on each other, and the Earth, it's the planet of Cybertron itself is constantly transforming, which is really cool. But the reason why I wanted to find the miners too, because a cool thing is that to show like there's something missing with them, and to show that they don't have a T-Cog, which allows a Transformer to transform, which, mind you, if you don't know who Tarn is, I don't even know much about Tarn too much, but I do know like he's one of the most psychotic Decepticons. And he transforms so much, he burns out his T-Cogs a lot, to the point where he then just kills other Transformers and takes their T-Cogs. I will say he's probably one of my favorite designed Transformers. Like, I really do like the purple and the mask bit. But yeah, like right here you see like Orion Pax's T-Cog's missing, all the miners are missing it, and they're all like super short too, which is kind of funny. But so they're all missing it, and they're all in the mines. Again, things go by really fast. Like, they get in like a subplot of Orion Pax saying like, if we win the Grand Prix or the Iacon Grand Prix or whatever the hell it's called, like, if miners did it, we'll be legends. We'll be legends, and like, even if we just beat one of them, we'll be legends. And I'm like, really? We have a racing thing? I'm like, okay. And it goes by pretty fast. It has a really cool scene. And also, like, I love this technology that they have. Because they don't have roads in this world. Let me see.
It's time to fight back.
Please don't do this.
Also, the voice acting is really good. They have the dude from Godzilla. They have Chris Hemsworth as Optimus, which it does sound like Chris Hemsworth, but then like there are some points where he starts giving a speech and you kind of hear like Autobots roll out, like that whole shit. It sounds so good.
Review myself.
Ah man, maybe it's in another trailer, but like they don't have regular roads. Their roads like form underneath them as they drive. And I'm like, how does this work technology wise? Like, is it like it just creates a magnetic? Does the vehicle itself create a magnetic strip under? No, because Megatron at one point rides up it. So like, I have no idea how those roads work. But they're cool as hell. They remind me of Sonic Colors. And it's an ability that, like, I saw, I'm like, by God, it'd be cool if that was, like, an actual game mechanic you could use. And then later on, like, Sonic Prime actually give him that ability, which is kind of cool. I don't probably use that in a story somewhere. But, they, like, it's like the track forms underneath his feet, underneath them as they ride. I'm like, that's so freaking cool. But, shit, I'm trying to think now. But yeah, but basically after that, and after getting thrown in, like, sub-level 50, which, mind you, after after saving Jazz after he almost gets killed, and like they're this then causes an explosion, causing Alita, who is their boss, to get demoted to waste management, gets kicked out. Which also there's fun references in this to the point where like there's a point where Optimus in the end jumps up and does like the box art pose where he jumps up, points his gun down, or like in the beginning of that scene, where the beginning before like the whole mind saving and all that, Alita Orion's trying to talk with Alita and like all this stuff, and Alita goes, "No, like Orion, you do not have the touch or the power." Like it's like because it's a reference to you got the touch, you got the power, like shit like that. And again, I'm sure there's a bunch more references in there that I missed. But the whole thing is like very much like the beginning half goes so damn fast, because it goes from yes, Orion getting chased by these cops to them going to work, explosion happening, Alita getting demoted. Then Grand Prix happens. We're gonna go to the Grand Prix. They go to the Grand Prix. They have the big ass race, and then after that big ass race, they get thrown into sublevel 50, which apparently they only thought there was only 40 sublevels, but it turns out there's actually 50 sublevels, and that's where they find Bumblebee, who's been down there, is super fast talking, and he and he's gone crazy. And there's Steve there, which I was like, holy shit, Steve! And then Steve dies, but he has Alpha Trion's message in there saying where possibly the Matrix of Leadership is, or at least where the other primes are. So B, D, and Orion crawl out, get to Waste Management, jump on a train, which Alita 1 is also there, gets on there also, train takes off, which I was like, why are they even sending Waste away? Because again, this is the part where like the movie is actually pretty smart. Because immediately, like, again, why are they sending Waste somewhere? Like I was saying, like, to get disposed of, but like apparently no one lives out on the surface, because I remind you, all of Iacon is underground, which is pretty cool. Because there's buildings going up and buildings coming down, but Iacon is underground, and I like it seems like that's the only place that Transformers live after the war. So then the question is like, what the hell is up there, and why are they just sending Waste up there? Wouldn't they just just dump it? And then eventually, these guys get knocked off the train. They just like, fine, we'll follow the map, and if this leads to nothing, we're going to the police. You're explaining all this shit. I'm gonna get a promotion. You're going to jail. And Orion's like, okay, fine. And mind you, like, Megatronus, or Megatron, also, or D, is constantly, like, telling his friend, like, how are you doing this? Why are we doing this? Like, alright, fine, whatever. And they eventually go, they find where it is, they reactivate Alpha Trion, who was, like, in Station 1, they find all of the dead primes. And that's when Alpha Trion brings up saying, like, the Sentinel Prime has been looking for you guys, and the Matrix leadership, and Alpha Trion, who is like one of the original primes, and this dude who's a badass, he straight up says like, oh no, Sentinel Prime straight up is what allowed the Quintessence to win. He backstabbed all of us. He was just like one of our clerks. He backstabbed all of us. He tried to take the Matrix leadership. The Matrix leadership only goes to the one who's worthy, so it destroyed itself. And he's ruling over. And they even explain too, like, because they say like, "Where's your T-Cogs?" And they all go like, we weren't born with them, and he's like, no, all Transformers are born with T-Cog. He's like, well, when we came online, we didn't have them, and going, yeah. He goes, probably because Sentinel Prime took them out. So mind you, this man mutilated, quote unquote, babies, and took out an important organ from them. So and to make them slaves to then work in the mines, because it turns out he's actually giving all those waste management trains, which again, the question you bring up is like, why are they sending waste out into the wasteland, but this land out here? Like, isn't that like a waste? God, why do that? Why do that extra steps? Turns out it's because it's actually like all the energon they're collected and formed into the cubes that they're giving to the Quintessons, which the Quintessons only really appear like their ships twice, one of them once, and like the foot soldiers, because they are ruling the planet, and Sentinel is literally just a figurehead to make them mine and work more, which I was like, okay. They all don't take this well, especially Megatron or D. And then again, here's another part of like the really good storytelling. My nose is getting clogged up. Can you tell by my voice? This is where more of like the good storytelling of like showing and not telling, and letting the viewer kind of come to the conclusions, because eventually when they are given T-Cogs, eventually when they are given T-Cogs by Alpha Trion, they're given them by taking the T-Cogs from the dead primes that are around them. Alpha Trion gives them... Oh, wait, hold on. Sadly, I don't have all of them, but I do want to get them. God, I'm not even sure if they're all, which ones are which. All I know is this one is Micronus, and one of them gets Micronus's T-Cog. And... What the hell? Oh, no, okay. Micronus, no! Micronus, which is the Transformer Prime of the Minicons. As well as, like, each one like supposed to represent, like, a different thing. I can't remember which one this guy is. I know this is one of the darker ones. Actually, if anything, I can look it up. Hold on. Skullgrim. Liege Maximo. Okay, yeah, that's who this one is. This guy is Liege Maximo. Which he's, if I remember correctly, he's like the Loki of... Yeah, he's even based off of Loki. And he's like the ultimate evil one, but he's not Megatronus, which Megatronus is this one, which he looks very different. He's also known as the Fallen, which, you know, if you've ever seen that one, which I thought was a really stupid name. But I'm like, oh, what's the Fallen? Oh, that's just his name. Back when I first saw Transformers 2. He has some better designs, but Megatronus, and then this one's Micronus. Is that right? Yes. This one is Micronus. Which one was Bludgeon? Skullgrim. The armored suits are like based off of Pretenders, which is a whole different thing. Trust me. Evolution, Optimus Prime. Primal. Predaking, no. Which one was it? Oh, here. Oh, Quintus Prime. Which one was Quintus Prime? Was this the one that made the Star Saber? Was Ember Star? No. This guy was this girl, I think. Is it Prima Prime wields the Star Saber, if I'm remembering correctly. He and or she does not have a Pretender outfit, because he's supposed to come with this one. Throwing the Primes. Yeah, Prima Prime. which, let me see. Yeah, they're the original wielder of the Align Continuity Star Saber. And there's a bunch of other primes and all this stuff. And they're the first one to have the Matrix Leader Saber, if I'm remembering correctly. But, yeah, these things are so freaking cool. And they become weapons for the other toys. But, back to this. Why did I say... Anyways, so they each get cogs from the different primes. Sorry, that was off in the tangent. They get cogs from the different primes. And how they get the cogs. Because, like, the thing is, like, okay, Megatron is said to be a very big Megatron's fan. Like, Orion even gives him, like, a decal to put on his shoulder, which it looks like the Decepticon logo. And so I'm like, okay, so he's going to get Megatronus's cog. He does it. They don't explain why he does it. Because they just say, oh yeah, here's 4 T-Cogs from the 4 things. But I'm like, why didn't you give him Megatronus's one? It's because it's not there. Because later on, we find out it's because it's inside Sentinel Prime. And I guess your T-Cog does correlate to certain powers you could have. Because when he gets the T-Cog, he gets bigger. And even when this is when I think he gets the T-Cog. And even then when other characters, and even when Optimus gets the Matrix Leadership, that's when he becomes Optimus Prime. And there's a bunch of stuff in this movie that I really love. I don't want to, whatever. We'll keep talking. Anyways, they get this. They all find out the news about Sentinel Prime, being a traitor and all this stuff very differently. Optimus, Elita 1, and Bumblebee are like, okay, Alpha Trion sends them on their way. And Alpha Trion puts sand inside the tracker thing that's supposed to have all the data of everything that's gonna happen, of showing what Sentinel Prime did. And Optimus, Elita 1, and B are like, okay, cool. We just need to take this and show it to everyone, and we win. They'll turn on Sentinel Prime, and we can fight back the Quintessons and all this stuff. Everyone wins, yay! And again, this is where the movie starts getting really, really good. Because this is then where D, who will eventually become Megatron, goes, no! I want to kill him. I want to kill him. And then and then drag his body through the city so they all see what he is and what he did. And you might be thinking, is that are you paraphrasing? Or are you trying to be over dramatic on this? No! He straight says that shit! He says, I want to kill him and drag his body through the city to show it off, to show he's a piece of, to show what he's done and show, how much garbage he is. I'm like, oh my god. And then that's, again, where you remember they're robots. Where then you remember on that same note, too, robots don't follow the same rules as if, let's say, humans. So you can dismember the shit out of someone who's a robot, and it's perfectly PG-13, or PG. So you can see Alpha Trion just running around, chopping off characters, ripping them in half, or you see, Megatron grab a robot and go, and just rip him in half. Holy shit. You can see Megatron go ballistic on an army of there's I guess the major spoiler. So major spoiler, again, go watch it. The big spoiler when before Optimus lands and all this stuff, Megatron is going for the kill. There is no trying to talk no jutsu him down. There's no, oh my god, there's no what have I done bullshit. He is just straight going. He doesn't, his anger is thrashing out. He yells at Orion, saying, why did you do this? Why did if we just kept following orders, we could have just been ignorant to all of this, and we wouldn't know this. But, like, he even says, like, he doesn't know how he's feeling, because he found out his entire life is a lie, and all this stuff. Like, and, like, eventually, when he goes on the warpath, he goes on the warpath. Because he just straight, like, he takes the tracker from Orion and goes, look, I'm going to lead us. We're going to get there. We're going to make him pay. And you see as Orion kind of is like, okay, man, calm down. We're gonna make him pay, but we're gonna do it the right way. And Megatron's like, D's like, I'm gonna do it the right way. They go back. They then get knocked out by turns out like the Iacon Guard, if I remember correctly, who are Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave, and a bunch of other, like, soon-to-be Decepticons. They're pretty much the pro-Decepticons. And Starscream is the leader of this, which I find really funny. And he's also voiced by Steve Buscemi, which I was like, oh, shit! Because, again, I haven't seen any of their trailers, which I thought Alita 1 was going to be voiced by Awkwafina. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I just heard, I think, one line, and I'm like, oh, shit, is this Awkwafina? And it's like, no, it's actually Scarlett Johansson. So you have Thor and Black Widow in this. But these two, but yeah, like, you have them and, like, the guard go, like, only the strong can rule. And Megatron or D is just like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to Iacon to go kill Sentinel Prime. Starscream tries to stop him. And Megatron they start fighting, and Starscream's like, go on, fight me! And Megatron grabs him, just starts squeezing his throat, and you hear him go, ah! Like, starts turning into the voice of Starscream. And Megatron just goes, like, about to punch him, and you see the gun cannon just pour, and puts his ion cannon, or his, I think it's the ion cannon, puts it to his face, and just tells all of them, who of you want to fight? Want to fight against it? And, like, it's like, oh shit, and he fires 2 blasts into the sky. And they're like, and all of the soon-to-be Decepticons are like, yeah! And then just so happens also, again, pretty much, I'd say this is part of the whole idea of, like, you know, storytelling. Black Arachnia, who is Sentinel Prime's second in command, finds them. Because I'm pretty sure Megatron shooting 2 shots in the air was pretty much a flare at that point. They get attacked. A lot of them get captured, like D does. Orion says, you know, I failed and all this stuff. And it's pretty cool because then we eventually kind of get... Some people roll their eyes at it. I don't know. I liked it a lot. It's like, who are your people? I have no one. Han Solo. It's that kind of bullshit. But I like how this one's done. It's not specifically a one-to-one of, oh, that's what his name is. Because Alita tells him, like, goes up and goes, hey, I'm better than you. And then Orion looks at her and just goes, okay, is this supposed to make me feel better? And she goes, and pretty much she brings up, like, you know, you are, like, you see a future that no one else can see. You want that future and will do anything to make that future happen. Your optimism is what allows you to be a good leader and allows you to change the future and allowed all of this to happen. Like, and pretty much, again, this is, without it being like an immediate, like, oh, like, you know, who are your people? I'm alone. Han Solo. It's the idea that his optimism is what makes him a better leader. It's what makes him someone who wants to help people and all that stuff. Which, again, will translate eventually when he becomes a Prime to Optimus Prime. Because he's the optimistic Prime who wants to see the better future. I like that. I like that a lot. Also, then Shockwave comes up and, like, they're like, we shall, like, you know, we shall go with this. And, like, Orion's like, you know, no, we have to go. We have to fight them and save our friend. And, like, Shockwave's like, no, we won't. And Alita just comes up and goes, boom, just punches him in the eye. He's like, ah, my eye! He's like, why would you do that? And then they go like, follow me and we shall, you know, take on Iacon City and take down Sentinel Prime and, you know, win the true war. And then that's when Shaka goes, "Why would we follow you?" So Lita just goes, and she goes, "We shall follow them." I'm like, God, yes. And there's a lot of really funny, dark humor in this too, especially towards the end. Like, holy shit! Like, there's the whole end fight scene we kind of see in the trailers. I know this one because like some of it clipped up, where Bumblebee has his battle mask and a guy punches it and like he breaks his hand, and then he gets knife hands and just starts cutting the shit out of people. And like, it's really funny. Like, oh my god, like it's so overpowered, like his knife hands and all that. But it gets super funnier when at one point where he shows Orion his knife hands. He's like, "Look, I have knife hands." Two bad guys are running up behind him. And then he goes, "Look, look, look, I'm gonna go cut those guys up." The two of them stop, look at each other, and then just start running away. And then B is about to chase them down to murder their ass. Like, holy shit, that's funny. Especially because now that I'm thinking about it, like, there's I don't know if there's a plot hole or not, but it's really, well, I think Optimus does stop it. Orion does stop him, I think. But, because, again, like, the whole thing is that Megatron is on the warpath. He does not give a shit. Like, and, like, again, his whole thing is that he wants to kill Cyno Prime, and Prime wants to stop him. And this eventually leads to, spoilers again, like, Megatron's about to blow, like, Cyno Prime's head off, and Optimus just jumps in the way, gets shot, you see his arm fly off, you see a hole in him, he's like, oh shit, he falls back, Megatron grabs like, "No, don't," and like, they're holding on, but then you see Megatron look down, look up, and his eyes glow red, he goes, "I'm done saving you," drops his ass, but again, like, drops his ass, and that's when Optimus dies, everyone's like, what the fuck, and Orion falls, Megatron gets up, and we'll get back to that. But again, that's the little bit thing, because I'm like, maybe pull back your dude B, because he is murdering a shit ton of people, but, you know, whatever, I guess war. But anyways, yeah, so that whole thing drops Orion, and that's the thing, too, like, it's like, this is the scene where it's like, people say, like, oh, this is like the Spider-Verse kind of thing, because it is. This is where you see the birth of both Optimus Prime and Megatron, which is cool because again, like the What's Up Danger for Spider-Verse is the birth of Miles Morales as Spider-Man. That is what that is. That is the showing of where he truly becomes who he's destined to be. This has that same moment where Optimus is falling into the core of the planet and eventually he's being gifted by the Primes, the Matrix of Leadership. Megatron is just ripping through bots. Megatron is just ripping through bots, and it's cool because he has like the Demon Slayer red eyes where you move, you see like the line like cast with it. You just see him just killing all his way there till eventually getting the Sentinel Prime and grabbing and just tearing him in half. And thus like, and then eventually Prime pops back up, but like, and it's really cool too because it's a big, big bombastic things. The things like, "I am Megatron," and at the very end, like, Orion Pax, we have us the Primes, and Primus himself have deemed you worthy. Now rise as. And then you think it's gonna be like a big thing, and then you just hear like voice, just a low, which I thought was really good because I was thinking like the big, but it goes Optimus Prime, and then that's when you see him fire back up, fly up, and boom, like this right here on the screen. God, this movie's so good. This movie is so good. And then we have the whole fight scene of them two fighting each other. Eventually, Megatron loses. Also, I should say this too. Like, the Megatron thing, because Megatron does not give a shit. And I really love Megatron too. And also, you understand his kind of anger. And also, like, there's a whole part where Optimus does speak poetic, and like, gives a heartwarming speech to all the miners that help fight in the war and all that stuff, or fight Senso and all that stuff. But man, like Megatron when he gets captured with B and all that stuff by Sentinel Prime, and they're in like the base or whatever, and Sentinel Prime says he's gonna execute them, and I'm just gonna keep going. Megatron stands up. Like, Sentinel Prime's just talking, like, oh, the Primes and all this, and they just spawned and all this, and, like, you guys are gonna be traitors and all this. Megatron just gets up and just goes, are you done? And tries to walk out, and Prime, I can't remember if because he tries to walk out on Starscream. This is when he kind of just stands up and he's like, oh, okay. Sentinel Prime knocks him back down. He's like, and then he sees he peels the Megatronus decal off. He goes, Megatronus, he was the coolest one, the biggest, the baddest. You know what? Why don't we make this permanent? And puts it on Megatron's chest and just carves it into his chest. Which, like, that's why you see it in this is during the final fight. Also, I do like, too, like, you see the Matrix leadership in his chest, which you see for, like, a lot of the newer Optimus figures, or like, right here, you see it carved into his chest. But God, his movie's so good. But yeah, you see that eventually Megatron loses, but he takes all of like Starscream, Shockwave, and all them. They all come with him and everyone else to as he leaves. And it's funny because all the other Decepticons fly, and he's the only one that's like a tank that kind of just flies off. The fighting also is really good because there's bits where, again, you kind of see the fighting here. But, like, there's some bits where, like, you see the transforming. Also, when he uses that axe, it's cool that it's, like, the energy axe thing, too, because they use that to full potential where, like, it turns and, like, can spin around like a freaking helicopter to protect and then switch out. It's so cool. Honestly, I think the axe should be Optimus's main weapon. Trying to think. But yeah, Megatron leaves. Optimus says, to all Autobots out there, we are waiting. And all who would oppose, all who would try to, all hurt sentient life and all this stuff, we are waiting, and we will fight back. As they're saying they're going to take the fight to the Quintessons. Megatron, or then there's a after credit scene where you have B going down with Steve and them. He's like, look guys, I have knife kill Steve, and the other guy's like, no! Funny as hell. Also, like, there's a joke of like B saying like, I go by a few nicknames, B, all that stuff, but also Badassatron, like shit like that. I'm like, okay, got it. It's a little dumb joke. It's kind of funny. All right. When he does do it at the very end, where he's killing a bunch of things, he goes, I am Badassatron, and I'm like, okay, that was a good one. I like that. You made something that was kind of annoying to something really funny. I like that. At the very end, we see Megatron is actually now branding each of the newly dubbed Decepticons with Megatronus' symbol and saying how they're going to take the fight and like how they're going to, take back Cybertron and, all this stuff, fight for their freedom in a sense too and all this. It's a whole thing. Starscream, I'm sure, is going to backstab him, obviously, because Starscream was the leader of this, and now Megatron is, because he showed that he's the strongest. And, yeah. This movie is awesome. I love this movie a lot. It's so damn good. Like, so damn good. Like, it says it's the best Transformers movie. I believe it! It's that good! I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow. One, it is a good movie, and it's cool to go see it again. But also because tomorrow, they supposedly are gonna have the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 posters that are limited to the first day release of Transformers 1. So, excited for that. I'm gonna see if I can get that. But anyways, yeah, this movie was awesome. I liked it a lot. I highly recommend you go see it. I'm pretty sure I missed some things. I'm sure there's a shit ton of references I missed. I'm sure like there's names that like I missed on there. I'm sure there's background characters like, oh, that's this Transformer, that's that Transformer, and it's gonna be. And also just for two, because they already said there's gonna be a second one. I was waiting for Soundwave to eject his cassettes, but we never see him do it. And then also we also we saw like at some point like these robotic deer that are out on the planet, which again like there's slight shrubbery and stuff like that at one point, which is really funny that the Quintessons and all that stuff are the organics, where the Transformers are the inorganics, and usually the organics are the good guys while the inorganics are the bad guys, and it's the switch of that, which is kind of funny. And like their ship, the Quintesson ship look big, like monsters more than ships. But I'm really thinking, like with those robot animals out there, as well as us seeing Soundwave eject his cassettes. I'm thinking mini-cons are going to make an appearance in the next movie, because we could see how Soundwave got his cassettes, them being mini-cons, which technically speaking, like the cassettes weren't considered mini-cons. There's a whole other big lore shit. Then there's a bunch of different other lore stuff, like cold build bots versus like bots that like cold steel bots were like bots in pre-built bodies versus bots that were born naturally, kind of thing. There's a whole thing like that, which we can go into. But I think we're gonna get mini-cons, because they already brought up Micronus, who is the god of mini-cons. So it would surprise me if maybe, we're going to see more like little mini-con guys pop up. We'll see the cassette things. I don't know if they'll go full Armada, but I kind of hope they do. At least these mini-con guys are there, and maybe it leads to stuff with like Unicron later on. I don't know. Then again, it all depends on the continuity, because like Unicron is... Anyways, it'd be cool, I think, if they did something with mini-cons. And like, what is it, Micromasters technically are type of mini-con, or they're not mini-cons, but they pretty much are, so just make them mini-cons. Just call them mini-cons. It'd be better, and just also give them the ability to power links, because by God, power link is so cool. In any case, thank you so much for watching. This is probably one of my favorites, too. And, excluding, like, the original mini-con guys. But, thank you so much for watching your videos that I've done. Links are on my Facebook, and there's so much videos. Hopefully you enjoy this. Go check out this movie. It's really damn good. And if this comes out on the 20th, I highly recommend to go try to be one of the first 300 at these certain movie theaters, so that way you get Shadow of the Hedgehog poster. Anyways, thank you for watching your videos. Hopefully you enjoy this. I like this a lot. And we will see you later. And also, it's funny that they did not go the one shall stand, one shall fall, which would have been an easy trap to fall into. They saved it, which awesome. But then again, one did stand and one did fall in this, so maybe that is the reference to that.